Welcome into Game Changers, and yes, it's a packed house. Finally,
right.
back
How
from the road, Goldie.
Man, I
It's
tell
nice to
you
be
what,
back in town.
it's like pulling a nice woolly blanket over you when you're here. Just nice and warm. Nice warm feeling, right? There
False
you go.
sense of security.
Well, it makes me feel a little better with someone sitting next to me that has less
you got
than
a little
I do.
bit.
Sorry,
I'm gonna start going to the chin now.
Right here.
You think I should make that move, Gold?
Right here.
Go to the chin?
1,000%.
1,000%.
No,
1,000%.
the mustache is like your trademark.
It is your trademark.
It
The
is.
mustache is in the
Look,
glasses.
I had a full beard at one time. My full beard one at a time, and the only thing that survived was the
Your
mustache.
trademark since, look at your
You know what?
movie career, NFL, wrestling.
I've had this mustache since I think my junior year in college.
Since Bobby Beathard got him to come to
That's
Miami.
right. When Bobby Beathard tapped me on the back, I looked at him with a mustache. It wasn't quite in yet. It was still a little sparse.
I think we should go the other way. I think we should shave it. Let's take it off. Let's see what Bo looks like.
Maybe for training camp?
No.
It's hot out there, Bo.
No, let me tell you what. I shaved it off one time. One time in my life, I've shaved it off. I made a mistake. I was shaving and I nicked it too much. I had to take it off. I walked out. My wife and 2 daughters were sitting there. They screamed.
Who the heck's this guy?
They screamed.
The stranger
and the first thing they said is, "Grow it back now."
No, they didn't recognize you. I'd like to see that.
I didn't like myself.
All right.
Oh, listen.
I got that thin lip. I don't like that.
You both look great. And
So do you.
I'm glad you're back.
Thank you.
Because listen, it's a busy weekend here in South Florida.
Did you pull that out of the dirty clothes?
There we go. We couldn't be nice to
Thank
each
you.
other the whole
Thank you.
time.
It's a
Someone had
little
a...
wrinkle.
It's a little wrinkle.
Yes.
Yes.
See,
Don't own an iron.
I spot those things.
It's a busy weekend here in South Florida, and I kind of want to get your guys' take on what you would do this weekend. We got 2 games for the Heat, Miami Open, Ultra Drake concert, and March Madness. If you had one choice for anything to go to, Bo, what would it be?
Let me see.
Well, the third
Ultra.
one,
He's
the
going to
third
Ultra.
one would be free for you.
Number three looks really good to me.
And that's free.
But I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
I would say at this point, with the way the weather is right now, I would go to the Miami Open at Hard Rock Stadium. Sit there, maybe have a couple cocktails. Maybe not.
Yeah, maybe.
But sit there and have a couple cocktails under the sun.
A couple dozen.
Then you can have the chair on. Quiet, please. Sir, quiet, please.
He's just yelling at Alcaraz.
Come on!
Miami Open is a phenomenal event.
It's awesome.
Hard for me to argue with that.
I'm surprised you're not there right now.
Joe's there right now. Rose is there every day.
I've never seen Drake in concert.
Yeah.
So I imagine that scene would be amazing. So I don't mind going to that. So it would be between those two.
And where's the Drake playing? Where's he playing?
Emerald Bank.
Okay.
So you got tickets to that too.
I do not have tickets for that.
Well, so we're both picking places where we can get into pretty easily.
Well, you could get into all of them.
That's not true.
You can get into all 4.
Yeah, because
cheap,
I asked
Goldie.
you guys for tickets.
We're pretty cheap.
Well,
you know, our colleague Trish Christakis, I bet she's going to be at the Drake concert. Huge.
Okay,
Drake
she'll
fan.
be there.
So you at least you won't.
So where is Drake in the pantheon of artists now?
Oh, dude, you're asking the wrong guy.
Way up. Look at the place.
Way up.
The place is going to be packed.
Yeah, no, I get it. But I
2
mean,
shows.
she's Taylor Swift. Is he Taylor Swift?
No.
Just
I mean,
a
he's
notch
popular.
maybe
but
a notch below.
Yes, not in the whole. Yeah.
Probably goes Taylor Swift, Beyonce, right in that stratosphere.
That's the top
and then
of
he's
the
probably the next
level.
one.
And Lil Wayne's there too.
It's kind of like
With Drake,
when Ryan Tannehill was here. We were trying to figure out what level is he at
of quarter.
Kind of the same thing.
We're still doing
that.
I think we're still doing it right now.
Still around, hey.
Yeah. You're not going to pick Ultra. I've never been to Ultra.
I have no interest in going Ultra.
I don't either. But I kind of
boom. No.
It's the tennis or Drake.
It's a tennis.
I was doing a live shot from.
Is that Bo? I thought that was you, Bo.
No, it's me with the striped shirt. See.
I saw the person
hair.
had the mustache.
I had longer hair back then. I didn't have the mustache.
They're cool. You know,
so it was during the Heat playoffs.
What was going on here?
I'm standing out doing an 11 o'clock live shot, which is 11:20 something, right? And Ultra is letting out.
Oh, geez.
And I'm right outside in the front, and they're all walking past me.
Right.
And first of all, I could hear it, and it was just that thump, that boom, 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 boom. And then I saw this parade come by. I said to Lewis, let's move the camera way over there.
That's a generation a little separated from
a little
me
different from
as
me.
well. But I did find it funny when they had to walk across the bridge in Key Biscayne because there was no way in or no way out.
Right.
A couple of years ago. That was fantastic.
It's wild.
We'll talk about the Heat. It's kind of a shame they didn't get the.
It's a regular season basketball. I mean, you know.
In a playoff
Yeah,
race,
it's still a regular season basketball.
Yeah,
not compared to the Miami Open, a Drake concert. I mean, come on,
Look, it's funny because I was was reading.
Go to the Heat next week.
Reading an article about the Heat today, and Eric Spoelstra made a comment that almost made you seem as we just got to figure out how to get through this regular season,
right?
Yeah,
right?
That's our MO.
And to me,
point.
I've been saying that all year with the ups and downs.
To me, I don't get that.
They're going to the playoffs.
I know,
you want to finish as high as you
can. They're
can.
going to playoffs because the Atlanta Hawks are doing everything they can to keep that 10th seed so far away from everybody else.
So what it says to me is that some of the coaches now in every sport is realizing that the players that are coming in aren't the old blood and guts, I'll play 82 games and whatever. No, I'll play 60, 65, I'll play 70.
It's not just the players that are coming in, it's the players that have been here.
I understand that, but I think coaches are having to reshape their thinking to deal with that. Oh, I can't push him. Much like Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell in the Super Bowl, guy makes a big mistake. I was expecting him to rip his head off. And you could see the steam's coming out of his ears.
He controlled himself.
Controlled himself.
100%.
It's that new age that you've got to do. And to me, it's giving up a little bit. If I'm a season ticket holder, I said, well, then knock the prices down by 40%. If my Stars can play 60%, I'll pay you 60%.
I'm with you. I mean, look, the other night, Bam essentially has a maintenance day.
Yeah.
You know, I get these guys 82 games.
I get those.
But there are some players that probably abuse it a little bit too much.
Like I wouldn't have a problem with a back-to-back on the road, and then you come home, that guy sits, okay.
Yeah.
I'd
The
rather have him
interesting
sit on the
thing
other
is,
side. But
it is not at all filtered into hockey. That does not happen in the NBA.
Well,
guys don't sit out games. Like they'll say if they're hurt, they
I
won't
saw
play.
one NHL coach that popped up saying, hey, this is getting a little dicey with me, some of these guys that don't want to work hard.
Well, that's different.
So it's
the work hard thing is different than them saying, oh, you played 9 games in a row. Let's just pull you. If you're healthy. But I think that's more in the players. That mentality in the NHL
I think
is
that's
still,
tougher.
they don't want to sit out.
In the NFL, you guys aren't taking weeks off.
And look, let me tell you what, you get hit every time down the ice in the hockey. And so if you're lagging, then you got a big bullseye on you. Because look at that guy, he's not looking.
Can I suggest something? Can the three of us hit the ice one day and see who can?
Let's do it.
Drop the gloves.
The new place is open. The Baptist League Ice Place.
There you go.
Let's go. Let's bring the show there. Let's bring Game Changers there.
It's open to the public.
There you go.
Restaurant's pretty good in there too. We get a snack afterwards.
There you go.
All right, guys. That was fun. We got
maybe a little discount.
We're gonna figure out our weekend plans out. Apparently.
There we go.
When we come back, Jazz Chisholm goes scorched earth on some former teammates, and yes, we're gonna get back to the Miami Heat. Bam Adebayo. Game Changers coming right back.
Game Changers is sponsored by your Volkswagen dealers of South Florida. Shop your 7 passenger favorites at VWFlorida.com.
Welcome back to Game Changers.
What happened to music? We didn't get any music coming in.
Yeah, we did.
I
heard it in my ear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
You're not all geared up for.
No, you're not.
As we discussed.
I've had it in my ear so long because you've been gone so long, so I'm just.
As discussed,
I'm
used to.
Your technical acumen is not quite where many other people in 2024
if this is the best, I'm right here.
Okay, fair enough. Self-assessment.
Self-awareness is attractive.
Not ashamed of myself for that, my friend.
That's all I'm saying. All right. This week on the popular podcast, The Pivot, we had Jazz Chisholm, Marlins star outfielder, go absolutely scorched earth on Miguel Rojas. Apparently, he wanted to clear the air on his first 3 years here in Miami. Goldie, what did you think of Jazz just completely airing out all that dirty laundry for the world?
Well,
here?
it's a double-edged sword. So Miguel Rojas, one of the guys privately, and obviously now it's a little public, not a big fan of Jazz. The way he carried himself, some of the things he did, we always heard about that. It's kind of a double-edged sword because so now is Miguel and those guys and Mattingly, whoever else had the problems, are they proven right? Because Jazz has come out and done this instead of taking the high road? Or do you go with, you got a guy that all these people are taking shots at him, and you know what? I'm going to finally set the record straight. I see both, honestly, I don't mean to cop out. I see both sides of it.
Look, I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem speaking out. And if the other guys don't like it, then tell me I'm wrong.
Right.
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me what give me a little answer to this. But look, let's kind of cut to this.
Yeah.
How many fans that go to a Marlin game are coming to see Jazz Chisholm?
Probably all. Most
there you
of them.
go.
Yeah. No, listen.
He's an exciting player.
I mean, he's the most exciting player they got in the team. And look, when he's not in the game, if he's hurt, if he's on the 30-day disabled list, that attendance is going down.
Yeah, it was interesting though. If you play the results, the timeline, everything Jazz was saying, you look at it as soon as Don Mattingly and that kind of old Marlins guard left, and as soon as Skip Schumacher came in, year one, they make the playoffs. They overhauled that roster, and I mean, Jazz looks right. You may not like the way he did it, but he looks right.
Look, I don't like the turning the cap around. I don't like that. I'm an old school guy.
Sure.
But
we've established that.
But I like the fact that he's calling people out and getting them. He said, "Look, I play hard. I do everything I need to do. Right. You may not like the way I look. You may not like the 2 diamonds in my ear. You may not like that.
He's having fun.
But I'm out there helping this team win. Yeah. You need to jump on that train, and not the train of sitting here and belly aching every day because we didn't do this, we didn't do that. Well, then make something happen and do it yourself.
In general, I'll say I'm not a big fan when people leave, and then people. In general, But I could see where a guy like him, who's kind of taking and he's heard about it, taking these little shots, these little jabs for a few years, finally says, you know what, enough's enough. And hey. Baseball-wise, I think he needs to stay healthier. Gets hurt a lot.
No doubt.
I give him a lot of credit.
But he's playing hard.
Going over to center field, he's become a legitimate outfielder, major league center fielder. I give him credit on that.
Yeah. All right. Let's move over to the Heat right now. Obviously, we mentioned earlier they're in the midst of this play-in thing. They're trying because that's what it is. I mean, this is where they're going to live forever. It feels like. But Bam Adebayo hits a big 3-pointer the other day at the buzzer, and it got me thinking. Should Bam be the more forceful guy on this team? Should he just completely take over? Because guys like Jimmy in and out of the lineup all the time.
Well, look, I think so. If Jimmy's not going to be in the lineup, then Bam's got to take a big leadership role, and he's got to push that. And look, whatever Jimmy's doing, let Jimmy do. But we as a group, the supporting cast or whatever you want to call them, you need to play hard every night, and you need to do. And I think he's got the personality where you could tell him you need to be a leader on this team. And I think he's already doing that. Yeah. But I think if he puts a little bit more, and look, maybe he gets to a point where he says, hey, Jimmy, we need you tonight.
Yeah.
We need you tonight.
Yeah, I think at some point it needs
to give us 20 minutes.
But when the chips are on the line in the playoffs, Jimmy Butler's going to be there.
No doubt.
So he can be as frustrated as you want about going 5th seed or 8th seed in the play-in, but
I'm putting a bracket around the regular season.
Okay.
When I'm making these comments,
right?
Because it's a whole.
Can Jimmy do what you want him to do in the regular season and still be fresh for the playoffs?
Because the NBA is only really interesting in the playoffs. And don't try to sell me that little tournament. So who won that little tournament? Who won that?
The Lakers.
So
I think it's going to be on Amazon next year.
That didn't help. That didn't get guys playing any more games. No.
We want a banner up?
I did like the courts, though. The courts looked
the courts were great.
But I just don't know at this point with the culture in the league that you can get Jimmy Butler to be the playoff type for 82 games, then do it in the playoffs. I'm not saying it's right or wrong.
Look,
so the reality is the reality.
But that's fine. But you can't. So
Bam, get us there. Jimmy,
so what's the hierarchy?
Bam was great in the playoffs last year.
What's the hierarchy?
But that's what you're expecting in the regular season.
Right now, Jimmy can pick and choose when he's going to play.
What
happens next year when Bam can pick and choose when he wants to play?
What
happens next year when Jaime Jaquez can pick and choose when he wants to play?
He won't do that, but I know what you're saying.
But you know what I'm saying.
All right.
And to me, it doesn't really matter where they finish, by the way.
No, it doesn't.
Because once they get in.
I mean, if you can get up to 4, there's a difference.
Yeah, but
then you got the home court against the.
I wouldn't want to be the number 1.
Yeah.
But I'd want to be 3, 4, or 5.
You want 1 through 6.
Somewhere in the middle there.
Yeah.
Right. Rather, but whatever.
We're going to keep the Hoops Talk rolling. We had a big retirement this week at the University of Miami. Katie Meier is stepping away.
Love that Katie Meier.
They did something some people are saying is controversial earlier in the week. We'll get to that
I
next.
love controversy.
Wow.
There you go.
Not controversial on this show.
Welcome back to Game Changer. Sorry.
He's
just rocking it.
You know, can I get that on my iTunes?
You sure can.
Can you give him a little jingle on his phone? How about when you get a text message?
There you go.
Can you do that for him, Cunha?
I just want that when he calls, that's the music that pops up.
Look, no matter what, but when it gets on my phone, it's not going to be done by me.
We know that.
That's for sure. All right, down in Coral Gables, guys, big news this week. Katie Meier has retired after 19 years with the Miami Hurricanes. hell of a run,
Awesome,
Katie Meier.
awesome.
19 years, 10 NCAA appearances. Last year, they make it to the Elite Eight.
Yep.
This year, they were snubbed. I don't care what you say, from the NCAA tournament. They should have gotten in. They got an invite as a top seed to the WBIT.
Yep.
The Canes weren't the only ones to do this. But they said, thanks but no thanks, we're not gonna play. What do you guys think, Bo, I'll start with you, about teams opting out of some of these lesser tournaments? Not the NCAA tournament, obviously you'd go, but opting out of these tournaments, because I think the argument is, well, let the kids play, but then it's like, do the schools pay for this?
Yeah, there's a couple arguments. Let me flip over to the football side, because that's kind of where I live, but you've got some coaches that look at it as another spring training. Another 3 weeks of practice
the bowl games,
for the guys that are going to be here next year to get a head start, and I would think it'd be the same way in here. Now, that being said, if you've got a senior-laden team, and they're not, and they're not coming back, then maybe you hold a team. If they don't want to play in it, because look, if it's a women's NIT, I don't know how many teams they have in the regular tournament. Who wants to go? Hey, we're number 64, or we're number 65, whatever. Well, that doesn't mean anything. But if you got a young team, you give them another 2-3 weeks of practice and game experience. I think there's meaningless there. I think there's meaning. I didn't say meaningless. I think that's meaning.
So football, I agree, because you're getting a whole month of practice. Right. This, if you lose in the first round, you practice for 2 days.
Yeah, but 2 days is 2 days.
I agree. I think, first of all, it's all about the money. The schools lose money. So they all go to these preseason tournaments, right? There's a million pre-lay. They're on aircraft carriers. They're in Madison Square Garden.
Hawaii,
everybody goes to those
you name it.
because there's cash on the table. The postseason, if you don't make the big dance, it costs the school money. Not only do you not get paid, it costs you money. So on the men's side, it's kind of comical because you had all these men's teams, Miami, not one of them, but St. John's complaining they didn't make the tournament, Seton Hall, Pittsburgh, and none of them went to the NIT because they didn't want to spend the money. So I like to see there be some kind of structure.
Patino got bumped out?
Patino got bumped. Could have gone to the NIT. Didn't.
No.
Because if you're like that and you got that attitude, and I know what you're saying, Bo, you don't want to raise your hand, but you know what? Go to the NIT, win it, and tell everyone you made a mistake by leaving us out.
My problem is
unrealistic.
Look at that Syracuse. How many times they go?
They got invited to the NIT. They said no. They would have lost the first game.
I'm with Bo on, like, if the team decides, but if a coach is just pissed off and says, no, I don't want to do it, then I think you do a disservice to somebody.
I think it's going school, though.
Because think about, like, yes, you're going to have some guys who want to sit out because they want to protect their draft status. That's fine. Some guys may sit out because I'm going to go get an NIL deal somewhere else. But what about that senior who hasn't been playing, who's been on the team, who gets no minutes? This is a chance for him to be out there one more time with his teammates. And the younger guys, you as a coach, you could be like, look, I want to get you some run now. If you're on the fence of staying or transferring, look, I want to see you in action.
Some of the teams have done that, by the way, the NIT already. You see some young guys that have been playing the regular season.
To me, what would be appropriate for a coach is to say, look, we've been invited to the NIT in front of your team meeting. We've invited the NIT. I don't want us to go there. I don't think we should go there. But I'm going to leave it up to you guys. You vote. If you want to go, we'll go. And so do it that way.
But I think it's going higher.
I know.
It's going to athletic departments. It's going higher up.
I get that.
It's such a weird world. Like, growing up, it was all about competing. We just grew up in competitive world.
Hey, the NIT used to be like when you won they played the final at Madison Square Garden.
They have ruined college sports. I'm telling you, it's horrendous now.
I'm with you.
You never know. This guy's here one year, there another year, here another year, there another year.
14-team playoffs in college football. We haven't even done the 12th.
Let me tell you something. When we're sitting here, knock on wood, in late August, doing this show,
you missed our anniversary
two
show.
of you, I saw the cake from afar. I know he didn't eat any. He doesn't eat sweets.
No.
You two of you are going to be all.
It was vegan though.
Notre Dame's playing Michigan. You guys are going to be all into it. Don't tell me they ruin college sports.
Listen, I'll get back into it.
Because you're both going to be loving it, and you're going to be
Notre Dame and Michigan. I'll watch that.
And you're going to be arguing over they should be number two.
But here's what's going to happen to me. I'm never going to be able to see San Jose State on TV.
Well, you might have to watch. You got the stream going?
I could drive to San Jose and see it on the local cable show.
That's about it.
There you go. All right.
But you guys don't say they ruined it because you guys are still watching.
No.
You still see the uniforms when the Canes come out. It doesn't matter who's in the uniform. You're going to be watching the game.
I'm always watching Canes. Come on.
That's exactly my point.
All right, coming up on Game Changers, is love in the air at the Olympics? We'll get into that.
Literally?
Yeah.
What?
Maybe. Welcome back to Game Changers. Let's wrap things up here. It is an Olympic year, and this story caught our attention. But
I'm caught your attention.
My attention. And our producer.
We had nothing to do with it.
I'm going to read it because I want to get it right.
Right,
okay.
you don't even know what it is.
From CBS's
It's not from that
Twitter
emo
account.
guy back there, is it?
No. Jonan, no.
No, leave
All right.
Jonan alone, man.
The intimacy
he's a good
ban.
guy.
Listen, Bo,
Yeah.
the intimacy ban has been lifted for the 2024 Paris Olympics
no.
and the Olympic Village, where the athletes
no.
say during the event. Rules on intimacy went into effect.
Wait, what's it going to become, the
2020
villages?
Olympics because of Tokyo, because
Listen, pretty much.
there was a COVID rule. Athletes were asked to limit their physical contact with each other.
Right.
Are you happy for the athletes?
I am.
Like,
The village is becoming the village is. Did you catch that? He said that's a good line, Bo.
So you know what they do. I don't know if you know about the villages, but I'm elderly, so I know about the villages.
Right.
So what are they going to do? Are they going to put like little different color pins on? I like it this way.
Okay.
I like it that way. I'm this. I'm that.
Let me tell you, I've been to a
But
few
I guarantee
Olympics.
you, the rabbits aren't going to have anything on them.
Been to a few
come this
Olympics working.
Yeah.
They're there for a very long time.
Sure.
They are young.
Yeah.
They are in great shape.
Yep.
There's a lot of
testosterone
everything flowing.
and estrogen flowing around.
There's a lot of stuff that goes on. Good for them.
What do you think?
As long as
What do
they,
you think goes on?
No.
What do you think
As
we're going to
long
talk
as they're
about?
safe.
I'm just the
What do you
point
think
guard.
we're going
I'm
to talk
setting
about
y'all
when you
up.
brought? Look,
As
he
long
throws
as
the
it's
one out
safe.
here and he goes, "Oh, you guys shouldn't be saying
Keep it
that."
safe. I'm washing my hands of this. Thank you for watching Game Changers.
terrible topic.
That was horrible.
Terrible topic.
You guys seem to love
As
it.
long as everybody's happy, why not?
Hey,
Let's get some athletes.
amen.
Don't let it affect your performance there in the
Goodness.
100 meters.
Okay, we'll see you next time
Get
on
tired,
Game
right?
Changer. Okay, I'm glad you ended it with
saying.
100.
I think they wait till after their
see you
events
next
over.
time.
I would hope so.
There you go.
See you guys.